Hey everybody, it is Meg with Manifesting with Meg, and tonight is episode 9. We are going to blow open our artistic creativity and free yourself to basically do and think and dream however you'd like. And I have none other than Hector Prado, who is going to help you all do that. So Hector, I'm so excited that you're here, and everybody, you have no idea what kind of incredible talent he is. I am already blessed enough to have 4 pieces of his art in my house, so I'm very excited to say that I'm a collector of Hector Prado, who this last summer, actually it wasn't, it was the early spring that he was named Coconut Grove Artist of the Year.
Yes.
I'm very excited. His painting was called, please tell them.
The painting that they selected was
It's really beautiful. So we'll post it at the end. I'll put it on the link. But we are very excited to have him here tonight. Like I said, we are freeing ourselves from what enslaves our creativity. That's the month of July on the Magical Guide to Bliss. We talk about all the fabulous freedoms and what we can do to actually step into our dreams and goals through embracing our freedom in life. So with that, I want to say thank you so much for coming. Winds of change. Very good.
Change, yes.
Winds of change. So there you go. Anyway, so we're going to ask Hector some questions tonight about his journey, which has been amazing, and I'm excited to share that with you. I've been friends with. We actually were introduced to each other because we had a co-collaboration back in 2015 when I had my initial book launch through Jennifer Dillitz. She organized this at Neiman Marcus, and he was my artist, and the idea was amazing. And I really want you to share with him the idea of what we had going on, because you were painting while I was speaking. So go ahead and tell everybody your insight.
It was an amazing moment because at that time I did a live painting, but the painting was getting colors and getting done based on what I hear what she's saying. You know, sometimes she's talking about freedom, she's talking about, you know, spirit, she's talking about love, she's talking about different things that give me ideas how I'm gonna use my palette in the canvas. And say I just let go and I start painting that beautiful butterfly, and I create a monarch.
Yeah,
you know, a monarch is something that come out and beautiful, inspiring the words that she just reading at that time, and it was an astonishing moment when I created that piece.
And I have to tell you all that the coolest thing about that experience for me was that I got to use my words, which is all about my art, what I bring forth, my passion. And I was co-collaborating with this genius who was putting these beautiful colors on the canvas. And it was this, like, I would say a symphony, because we had music going in the background. So it was like as if this, like, you see nothing and then you see everything, and all of it came together because one person shared their talents with another. And I think that's the most incredible thing in the world. I guess it goes to the theory that I always have believed, together we rise. So I do want to give you guys a brief background into Hector. He is born and raised in Colombia, South America, which happens to be one of my other favorite countries in this world. And his story is incredibly unique because you think things are difficult, but when you have a dream, you will be able to catapult yourself and free yourself into whatever passions. And I want you to give them the highlights of your coming to your American dream here in the United States.
No, actually, when I work in Colombia, I was a little child. I want to tell a short story. I was 8 years old, and I want to be a painter, you know, in my country. But to be a painter is very difficult because it's very expensive. To go, you know, to study art, I can afford it at that time. So what I did is I stole my dream. And pursue something similar, that was graphic design. And I need a stable job at that time, you know. What I did is I started working in another dream, but always my childhood dream was behind me, you know, was in my back, in my heart, in something. And then I spent all my career in advertising for almost 25 years, and then a very successful career. Actually, I got my American dream. I came here, they brought me from my country. I came here, and I was very successful career. I had I was a creative director for big agencies here, just for the US Hispanic market, also for American market. And I got my American dream. But someday I had to stop and start pursuing my Hector Prado dream. And that's what we're going to talk tonight.
That's amazing. And you know what? I love how you call it your Hector Prado dream. And it's very freeing to actually show up in this world as authentically you as possible. And the beauty that comes through you is going to be what follows you when you do that. And I think that's what's happening now in your career as we see the beauty of your career unfold, which even from meeting you in or even December of 2015 till this point in time, I've seen you grow and flourish over the time, which is so exciting to be a part of that as an observer as well as a friend. So I want to applaud you, and I'm very proud of you for everything that you've done so far with that, and all the highlights that you've come about. So I saw this quote today, and I wanted to say it's every life is a piece of art put together by all means. And that's what it is. Your life is a piece of art.
Absolutely.
And how you constructed the Hector Prado dream,
Absolutely.
Now it's going to be put together as how you set the course.
Absolutely. And always an art start with a white canvas. What are you going to put in that white canvas? What color you going to put? How are you going to dance around that canvas? It's something that you do for your life. That's what I'm doing right now.
I love that. Dance around the canvas. That's amazing. So how do you dance around your canvas? Like like they say Michelangelo saw, the angel in the stone, right? How is it that you approach your art?
Actually, when I say dancing, is literally dancing. I'm dancing in front of the white canvas. I put music, I put all my experience and everything that I put in my back, in my head, I put in I'm throwing and dancing around with literally I dance with classical music, and then with rock, and sometimes,
awesome.
with some music that give me words that inspire my mind. And then that's why I start working in a new meaningful of my art.
So the words that inspire your mind through the music that comes out. I'm sure there's some merengue and salsa going on in that house. I'm sure it's a very lively, because I've seen some of your art, and there's no way those colors come from something very, very boring at all. So, I'm often faced with people who come to me and say, well, how do I follow my dream? How do I find the freedom to basically grab onto the bliss that I'm looking for? And you've done it. You've actually done it. You have freed the picture on the canvas of your life, right?
Oh yes, yeah. It was a big decision. I think the most difficult decision is to, get out from something that controlled me, that was my comfort zone of salary, comfort zone of, I was in a very big company, and I fly in first class, and I have my bonuses at the end of the year. I have also my salary 15 and 30s, and how am I going to pursue my dream if I have to rebuild all of this and start from scratch?
Yeah.
That was the most difficult thing in my decision. It was a decision, but unfortunately, it wasn't a mind decision. It was a hard decision. That's even bigger than your mind, because my mind say no, my heart say yes. But how I did it? What I think is when I saw my career in a routine, in a circle, I always do the same, doing the same, and my spirit is very creative. I feel lack, I feel close in a box that I was scared to be there until I retire.
Let me tell you, that does hit home. I can tell you
exactly. So I had to make that decision to pursue my dream, something that give me happiness inside of me, that I know every day, even Monday. Monday morning, everybody hates Monday morning when you are in corporate.
Yeah.
But me, right now, I'm waiting for that Monday morning, because I know it's to start the week with something incredible, a new idea in my mind, new ideas for my career, for my art, for my company, And so it was a risk. People tell me, you're crazy, Hector. You are in your top of your career, and right now you're gonna move out of that. You're crazy. I say, well, that's the top of the career of who? because it's not my top.
Right.
My top is a different top. It's a different mountain. When I saw was I was pursuing the dream of others.
Okay.
I was working to build the dream of others instead of mine. And yes, I was in the top, but at the top of the mountain with of the other person of the other company, not my company, not for myself. So I identified that and I made my own decision. You know, fortunately at that time was a break. You know, a break in my life that I had to make that move, and I did it. You know, I was scared at the beginning. You know? Of course, I don't have the same salary coming or income coming 50s and 30s or bonuses at the end of the year.
Yeah.
But thanks God, you know, I feel that my family support me in the back and I say, Hector, you know, let's do it. You can do it. And I start preparing myself to my new adventure, you know, after my 40s. And I say, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pursue it. If I may reach other people, now it's time to make me richer in my spirits and of course in my bank.
That's beautiful. No, I have to tell you, the bank is important as well as the spirit. But let me tell you something. When you become a deliberate creator of your life and you actually step into this knowing that this is not it for you, that there's something more out there that aligns with this incredible creative soul that you have,
Absolutely.
and that you know how to bring your art to life. And the beauty that people will experience on the other end is there's no words. There's no words, because even when you see your art now, and like even when we were watching you and watching how people were like admiring what you brought, even when Ava and I came to your first show over in Sinesta, I mean, it was fabulous. Even and to see the impact on my own daughter, who it was 8 years old at the time. You know, you're starting that Idea Monday kind of thing that Debbie's putting out there. It's like those wheels start to move, they start to churn. But that's what we're here for, right? We're here to be the deliberate creators of our life and show up with the passion and skills that we have, or we're gonna waste it. It'll go to the wayside, and you'll be tired. You'll be like, "What happened? Like, I don't have the energy to do this," but now you do. So I guess it goes back to the whole idea where you said, "Face your fears," and what gave you that courage to say, "Okay, enough. I need to do this." Like, what pushed you forward?
Well, actually, the first thing it was that little child inside of me. I have a little child that wants to be a painter, and for 25 years, this little child always asking me, "Hey Hector, when you gonna jump in?"
Did you have a name for that little child, or?
It's Tola.
Tola.
The my nickname when I was a child.
I love it. Yes, that's
Nobody
awesome.
knows that.
Oh, there you go. You just told everybody.
Tola, yes. So that little Tola asked me all the time, you know, Hector, when we gonna do our dreams, you know, our dream.
Wow.
Our dream to be that painter. I said, I don't know if I'm good in that. I had to try, you know, at some point awesome. I had to try. So what I did was, okay, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it well. I'm not gonna just jumping in and just doing some drawings and some drawing, no. I prepare myself, and then from 1 year I dedicated to learn about it, to learn the technique, to have the best coaching, the best teachers, in Italy and France, you know, online, and trying to capture the essence of the techniques.
So was this while you were actually working at your other job? That at night you basically come home and
No, I quit. And the next day I started a new career.
Yeah.
Like that. If no, I always gonna have excuses,
Okay.
you know. I know people say I'm gonna do it in transition, you know, but sometimes that transition make me think twice.
Okay.
When I think twice, I'm not gonna do that comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know? But because I'm pursuing my happiness, my dream, and my heart, I made a decision. And one day, but guess what? When you have something, you know, a proposal in your mind, in your heart, things come.
Right. No, I agree.
I start meeting people that I never expect to meet in my life that give me some advice that I say, wow, that's wonderful. Believe it or not, when you have a proposal in your life, everything is calm, you know. Also, I believe in God, and also I had to prepare my spirit and pray too, you know. So I pray all the time. I say, you know, I believe in you, I believe in me, I believe in the universe that is around me, and I want to put it together, you know, as a one thing, and come up. That's coming in. Voila. I get it. After a year that I prepare myself, I jump into the market as an artist, you know. But
when was this? When was this whole journey? When did this whole journey start for you?
Well, the whole journey started 1 year later that I made my decision to quit everything of my career. Why? Because if I did a successful advertising campaign for brands, I'm giving a lot of campaign on them and they got a lot of money, why not create a campaign for me? And then for 1 year, I prepared myself to be professional. That's one thing, because it's a talent, but also you have to have a minimum of professional in techniques and everything. And then when I have that base, I start creating my own things. And I learned how to paint a beautiful artwork. But I thought that it wasn't enough. I had to move to the next level, and the next level to give it to the artwork a meaningful. What is the meaningful for my artwork? What I as an artist stand for in life. What I'm gonna create or what messages I'm gonna send through my artwork to the world. That's something that I have to be thinking a little more. So now I'm working on that area, and that made the break. Is when I found that art is not just beauty, it's meaningful. And I decided to move to create pieces or art pieces that create messages between the viewer and the artwork. I know what I want. I know where I had to work hard, and I did it. And that gave me that courage to pursue it.
Amazing.
That thing, is to find the core value of what you're doing.
Beautiful. Now, I think that many people, when they feel that tugging and that alignment, or to change or transition because what they're doing in their current life is not giving that satisfaction that they really want, those fears come up. And I know that even with my own transition, leaving my job, resigning, and embarking as an author, and even having these wonderful opportunities to have conversation with other creatives, I get excited, but then there's always the fear that shows up. And I know fears, they always what's the opposite of love? It's fear. It's not hate, it's fear. Because when you're living in a place of fear, you can't experience love because it's blocking, it's restricting you from actually embracing everything that's waiting for you. Because like you said, when you actually, put your arms full embrace around your talents and your skills and your core values aligned with your passion and talents that you have, then those people show up, and those things show up, and those opportunities show up that you keep getting to say yes, right?
Absolutely.
But I know that there's a lot of fear out there, and especially in times where we need more inspiration, people stepping into their path. How do you deal with those times where you're like, what am I doing? Oh my God, what did I do? Like that. Or do you have those times? Maybe you don't even have those times. Which,
no, everybody have fears. Also, of course, fear to fail. I think when you have failures, it's something that scares you, But that's part of the successful. You need to learn from the failures. Failures. I think.
Did you have any failures on this path?
Absolutely.
Are you proud of them?
Yes.
Do you have them in pictures on your wall? No, for sure, right?
For sure, yes. But what I'm saying is, I think fears comes all the time, But you have to use your fears, as a gas injection to be better. That's something that how I'm going to transform this fear, because fear is a strong feeling.
Yeah.
It's a strong feeling.
Yeah, it's strong.
Yeah. People believe that maybe it's negative. I take it as a positive. Why? Because it's gonna give me an idea for my next painting.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm not just getting random in front of a white canvas and trying to get my muse. No, I always observe the light. Observation. That's key.
It's not the artist. I love it. You're not the artist.
Observation is the light. Even when I have a fear, that's an idea how it's going to inspire my mind to create something that, be key for my next artwork.
Wow.
That's key. Why? Because art is about feelings.
That's so true.
And I want to tell you, just happiness. I'm not going to paint just happiness in my artwork. I have to paint sometimes things that is going to shake the world. And I like that challenge.
Shake the world. We need more shaking in the world, in positive direction.
Absolutely.
For sure. No,
exactly.
I love that you say art is about feelings, because I personally think that life is about feelings and how we pay attention to our feelings to actually get the cues as to which direction we need to go next, right?
Exactly.
So your fears, like you said, you know, failure, whatever, and then they guide you to the next, like she was saying, Megan was saying, you know, going back to the breadcrumbs, they're like leading you to the path of your next great feat, because you're always, you know, you're growing and getting more enlightened and growing, as long as you allow for that.
Absolutely.
Which I think is amazing, because when you see a great piece of art and you appreciate a great piece of art like your own, like every morning, you guys, I wake up to this huge butterfly on my wall, and because I align with the butterfly as my symbol, but he painted this butterfly at my first my book launch, and it reminds me of who I am, because I felt the feelings that you painted the night that we did this together. I had to have that piece, right?
Absolutely.
The coolest thing, I think, and I want you to talk about a piece of art that and I know that you're right now, you're dealing with more meaningful art, you were telling me, so I'm getting really excited, because you even said a lot of the Bible verses are really impacting you in a different contemporaneous translation on how you see those words, like a living, breathing Bible in your life and your art. So tell me a little bit about that, so you can share with them as well.
Actually, everything started because in my study, I always try to be a perfection. Art is about perfection. It's if we are talking about techniques, you know. So what else? The big master like Michelangelo, you know, like Leonardo da Vinci, you know, and I started also studying Rubens. Caravaggio. And I started studying
all the good Italians. I like it.
I love those guys, you know.
Yeah.
And then when I studied those guys, I realized that, you know, when they paint a lot of religious artwork, you know. And I asked him why not me? Why I had to be restricted to create something that is always spiritual in my own way. And then when I started the technique. I love it. I think I get some learnings from them. But now I had to move on to my side, you know, because what I realized is that the people believe that religion's meaning is a stereotype. You know, it's like a religious stereotype art. So what have happened if I take those Bible narratives, you know, and create my own vision of what the Bible is narrative in a contemporary way, in a very unique way, in my own style, and what I found, you know, an avenue that is very open and long avenue, seeing things. Of course, the market, I don't know if the market is ready, but I'm expecting that. I'm expecting the market is ready. I think Hector Prado had to be ready.
Hector Prado's ready, yeah.
So Hector Prado is ready, and I had to move on. I can work basis on what is the market's desire. I think we need to surprise the market.
Oh, I like that.
That's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna surprise the people. You know, everybody around, because if I surprise myself first, for sure I'm gonna surprise the others. I told you later on. You know, somebody asked me, Hector, where are you going with your art? And I tell them, I don't know where I'm going, because nobody has been there. And I believe in that.
I love that. No one's been there, because it's your path, you know?
Absolutely.
And who you get to meet on the way is where the surprises come, right? And how you see it. And, you know, and interesting enough, when you brought up religion, you know, the root word of religion in Latin, re and ligare. Ligare means to tie, ligare, and re means back to.
Wow.
And the word religion means to tie back to your soul. So whatever religion you follow, it's supposed to be the choice that you made to tie you back to your soul.
Absolutely.
So your art, like they say, art can be a religious experience if it evokes within you those things that connect you to the world and the universe. So back to your soul and this spiritual experience that we're having, you know, on this wonderful planet in this time. So I can't even imagine. I know that I saw some of your pieces already, that, you know, your expression through the biblical, you know, is amazing. And, you know, freedom of expression, right? We have that freedom of expression. So if you don't allow yourself, you restrict yourself, then you can tell. But when you allow and you surrender to that passion that comes through you with your paintbrush, then there's no telling what magic you can make on that beautiful white canvas. So let me ask you, what works of art do you have in the pipeline at this point that you're thinking to do, or even in the process of doing?
Sorry, what is the question?
What works of art do you have in the pipeline, like that's coming? That you're thinking of doing, or that you've already started, or maybe you can't tell us, which is fine. But
no, actually, you can start seeing
teasers.
Some teas, because I'm gonna create a a beautiful series. I always work in series, you know, and the next series is
Why do you work in series? I'm just curious. I would like to. Why do artists usually work in series?
Because I'm creating myself all the time. I just can't just create something and believe that that's it. I got it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna stay there forever.
Yes.
No, I think I had to reinvent myself every time that I done a series. Next time, what I'm gonna paint? I wanna see observe the world and what the world bring to me, and how I'm gonna create something and return to the world.
I like
That's
that.
something that I always do. That's why I do series, because all the time I'm renovating not my style. I'm renovating my meaningful in every single art that I'm doing. You know? Right now, for example, I'm preparing next time. It's gonna be interesting because before I paint with my mind, my body, my heart.
Yeah.
And now I'm painting with my mind, my body, my heart, and my spirit.
Oh wow.
It's gonna have something plus that.
Wow.
Let's see what's gonna come out. I think it's gonna be even better. That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, let me tell you, the whole idea of the spiritual reawakening tied to this topic tonight about freedom. Tell me, when you say those words, what kind of empowered freedom do you feel? Like just by mentioning that, like the enthusiastic expectation of what you're going to at least introduce to the world.
You know, when the word freedom, especially in my new career, is when I tell that little child inside of me, you know, we working on it.
I love it.
No, we're working on it. That's why I feel freedom. Why? Because before I always work for others, family, you know, my daughters, my friends, my company, my brands, everything. I work for everybody. But the first time when I feel freedom is because I'm working for me.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm working for me.
Yeah.
Because for me, the first person who I had to surprise is myself. Then I'm gonna surprise the world, and that's what I feel freedom in that part. That's what I'm thinking.
So have you ever, at the end, when you start, let's say when you start, that blank canvas is there, and at the end, have you ever been like so amazed by what you just did, and like you're even like, wow, that came through me? Like, have you ever had that experience?
No, the process of my artwork is different. You know, some people just get into a white canvas, they start doing some colors, some things, and then the muse come and voila, they got it something. No, I always go outside, you know, because my creative ideas coming from the street, from the people, observation. I observe the people, and when I see something that is fascinating, you know, it's amazing, I take it, I borrow that, you know, I'm putting it in my mind, and I start creating my next painting in my head first. What is gonna be my next thing? But sometimes it's not just one painting, it's so many paintings around that I have to start from one side. So I decide, I say, okay, this is gonna be my next series. The next series is about this, you know. And then when I'm painting the new series, maybe in my mind is working in the next series. That something happened. Why? Because the world never stops.
The world doesn't stop. It doesn't.
Never stop. So he keep going, and I had to get everything from them, you know, because I had to just bring in it, polish it a little bit, put in nice colors, and return to the world.
Well, let me ask you something. So the world doesn't stop, right? And you have all this creative like onslaught of all these ideas, and wow. Sometimes do you have a meditative process that you step back and to capture so you don't become overwhelmed, or you just allow it to take you over? Like
yes, I always have a meditation. I always, you know, before I consult with God, you know, sometimes I say first of all, ask Him if I want to honor Him in some way, you know. But honor Him is not just to create the stereotype thing that maybe evangelists work, you know. Honor me is that, hey, I'm gonna do something that I'm gonna send to the world that is gonna be positive, you know, not just religions. You have to be positive. Have to something that is gonna sparkling something in somebody, you know, to make this person better. Not just smile. That thing had to be positive in my life. But I always consult with God because at some point I'm a creature that I had to create something. When I had that spirited thing, believe it or not, I take all the fears out, all the stress out, and there is a state of mind, spiritual, that I feel, like ready to move on. I feel ready when I finish pray, when I finish make my own meditation and thinking and say I'm ready. I just create that little piece in my mind and I'm ready to put it in the canvas.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's the way that I do it.
That's beautiful, and it certainly has worked for you over time as well, because I mean, I know that a lot of your works make me happy, and I know that they must make many people happy. So that positive inspiration that you bring to the table, after the final piece, or even in the process of making the piece, because I know that you do that too on your Instagram as well as your Facebook, that you share your process of the art coming to life, which I love that. I like the step by step, because for people who don't have that innate gift, they can see the unfolding, and it becomes less of a mystery, more of an inspirational guide.
Absolutely.
Which is amazing to me.
Absolutely. And now I'm gonna create a series of video with my team where I'm gonna show how I got inspired from the street, because that's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
When I go there, I go there and see something that the people perceive as normal, as nothing important, and I just observe it and I get the beauty.
Yeah.
Even if it is ugly, I get the beauty and I transform it. That's something that's amazing.
Well, I think in many respects, beauty is very subjective, right?
Absolutely.
People, I honestly, sometimes you're like, don't see it. And then sometimes you're like, oh my God, that's gorgeous. And then you're like, don't see it. But that's the beauty, that people will find what they want, what they're looking for, and actually through what perspective they're looking at too.
Absolutely.
So maybe at one point in time, a piece of art doesn't speak to one person. At another point in time, that same person will see it and like, wow. Because they're at different stages of their life, so they can appreciate it a little differently. Which I want to go back to the whole idea of this creative process and the freedom of the creative process, and what that's done for you since you decided to say, okay, Hector Prado's American Dream now. Not just the American Dream, but Hector Prado's American Dream. Have you felt the, I guess, maturation, like growing in your craft since you began? Have you felt that from day one to now? Do you look back and say, my God, look how far I've come?
Yes, absolutely. I think it's a process. Creativity is a process. It's a non-stop job, believe it or not. Why? Because the most beautiful is that in that process, you learn. I always learn. I met people like you, for example, that give me something special in my heart and my mind. I say, oh my God, I want to create a painting. I did it, actually. It's been behind us.
I know, it's right behind us. It's going to New York with me as I pitch my book at the publishing conference. So, yeah, me and my butterflies back there. And Hector, I'm taking him with me.
Exactly. And sometimes it's not about to capture the face or capture the body of somebody. It's capture their soul.
That's so awesome.
And when you capture that, I try to transmit it through the eyes, in the way that I'm awesome. Painting. Because the people had to relate with the image.
Yeah.
When you have a connection between the image and the viewer, voila, boom, voila. It's something there. So it's my work is done.
Right.
Because my work is not done when I sign the artwork. My work is done when somebody take something from that piece and share it with somebody else. That's key in my work.
I do want to tell you something that's rang true for me, right? Which is the connection. How we're all not here to be on islands. I don't believe that, to be true. I think we're all here to connect with other people, because there's invisible line between you and me, and we share the energy of the room, we share the space. So when you share your art, you're sharing your soul and your spirit with another person, which is incredibly exciting, I mean, and probably very vulnerable too, right?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why I had to be careful. I had to be careful. I want always to send the right message, not the wrong message.
Right.
Now, even sometimes I create some sketches that I say, oh, cool, but guess what? The message is not right. It's not for this moment. And then I move on and create another one. That's something that is key in my work.
So you kind of censor yourself, or like this is like censor meaning like, you know, okay, oh, this is cool, I like it, but maybe not now. Maybe I'm still exploring that, and I'm just not ready for the world. So you like protect that idea for
no, actually no. Actually, I know followed some. I don't believe that my artwork is like a baby for me.
Okay.
That is something that the school, you know, teach you.
Yeah.
I think if I get it from the street and I polish a little bit and return it to it's not mine. It's from people. If I want to paint for myself, I'm gonna have it for myself in my house.
Yeah.
That's it. But I'm painting for others. What I mean is not what they want, is what they don't expect.
Oh, I like that. So that what they don't expect. So what has been the most unexpected surprise that you've gotten from this artistic career that you've embarked on?
Well, actually, they don't expect. Actually, it was for the Coconut Grove Art Festival.
Okay.
They select me. I didn't expect that I'm gonna win from so many artists, you know. But the message was key. Why? Because I want to stand for something. It was dedicated for women that is empowered in the world, you know. And I created this beautiful woman who coming out from the water, you know, and she's moving everything around. And I think it was key that the today women had position in different jobs and different things that is empower the world. And I want to honor the woman. And I did it not because the Coconut Grove Art Festival. I did it because I want to create that beautiful piece. And they fell in love.
They fell in love.
They fell in love with that beautiful girl, but the meaningful. And I think is when I say I borrow something from the street, put it in a canvas and return it to the street.
Wow. Well, you know, I have to tell you all as well that he is definitely surrounded by strong, beautiful women in his personal life. So I'll give a shout out to Carolina, who's an artist as well. She's she's a stylist, and then his daughters Paloma and Valerie are musicians. So so it's not surprising that from his street, he's, you know, art imitates life, so to speak. It'll show up the beautiful images of the powerful women, empowered women in his own life. And I think that speaks very much to the point where what you surround yourself, be aware of what you surround yourself with, right? Because it has an impact on your creation.
Absolutely. My daughters, I always have beautiful conversation with them, you know, but they have different edges, different insights, you know, what happened with them around, and they tell me about what happened in their world. It's not my world, it's their world.
Right.
And then I took those ideas, I took those amazing stories and put it in that canvas. I have a beautiful wife right now, you know, Carolina, that she inspires me all the time, you know. She inspires me not just because it's beauty, it's because she gives me some new perspective of life that I never got through, you know. And the way they see the thing, the way that she feel the thing is different from mine. And then I take it and paint it and return to the world.
Well, so, you know, it's interesting. Tina just posted up there, your vibe attracts your tribe, which is so true, because when you show up to the world like you, looking out into the world, looking for the beauty of the world, you know, people who are have an inner beauty will be attracted to you. They'll show up as well. So you meet where you're showing up, right?
Absolutely.
So it's kind of like, you know, when you put it out there, people will kind of tell you where you're coming from, where your point of view, and like, and how you show up. So I do love that she says that. And also, you know, the mere fact is not surprising that you embracing this talent of yours certainly impacts your girls too.
Yes, exactly.
And one of the coolest things that I've experienced as well was when I was at Books and Books with you, and your daughter's playing the music, but I mean playing Yellow. But you know, it was just like I just felt like because that was our idea. We just were in your office one day talking about what do we want to do and like what kind of different senses need to come to life, and that was an idea. And when it unfolded and how it unfolded, I felt like I was in like what you were talking about before. It's a symphony of life. Like you're actually experiencing a symphony of life. And I just saw the other day on Wizard of Oz, they had the symphony playing background. And I'm like, I kind of go through life thinking that that's the way it is. I'm like, where's my orchestra playing in the back? And you do too, because you're painting with the art unfolding in front of you, which is fantastic, right? It's very empowering, right? that's how you, like, and I was gonna say, you know, where do you charge it up? Like, if you would need, like, you're feeling low energy and you need that extra charge, where do you go to charge it up? Like, you know, like, you feel like, okay, you're having blocks, this, that, and the other, like, you know, the fears may come up, the limits or whatever. How do you shift yourself out of that so you return to your vision, so you don't lose your way?
Well, the way that I say before, you know, observation. Sometimes,
yeah, I like that.
when I say observation, even if I don't like what I see, but when I observe it, I like it. It's so different things. People go around life just looking the life, you know, just going around, have fun, but never observe the things. Every observation have a meaningful and have a root what that observation is coming from. For example, I tell you, I see people the way they cut the hairs.
Yeah.
I say, well, I like that color for my next guy in the painting, you know. Or if somebody is moving in some way. The other day I saw a dancer and touched my soul that I want to paint a dancer guy, you know, the way they do it, and how I can capture all the movement in one frame. That's the challenge. That's something that I'm thinking about.
Okay, so I have to say something right now because Colombia is in the house. My exchange family, Coco, and my mommy is watching from Colombia right now. And I'm very excited to say that Hector is from Colombia too. I don't know if you saw that, Coco, but Hector is from Colombia. You were born and raised in Cali. Yes, in Cali, Cali, Colombia. So
soy caleño.
Yeah, caleño. So my exchange mother is watching right now. So I'm very thank you. That's so awesome.
Bueno, un saludo especial a la
Ay,
gente
qué
de
lindo,
Colombia.
ay, qué lindo. Yo aprendí español con ellos, entonces
¿sí?
ya, cantando. Anyway. Well, that's another way, you know, like I always say, your foundations of your life, they follow you through, and that they pass it on to the next step and the next step. And I always embrace my story, and like we were saying before, the failures as well as the accomplishments, because that makes who you are today and what you produce today and the observation that you've had in the past and to the future. It all starts and stems from the whole embracing experience, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Which is fantastic because, you know, everything that you have been and all the influences that you've gained and everything that you go forward is all a part of your life as a living art, which is very exciting,
fantastic.
Right? Fantastic.
And guess what? It's just my beginning. Why? Because life is long, and I had to learn for each stage of the life, you know. Or for example, now I'm instead of a stage that influenced my work. Maybe in 5 years, I'm gonna have another one. I'm gonna take advantage of that and creating all the time, you know.
Which is great because it goes back to the whole free spirits and what's gonna liberate you today, and the whole idea of fabulous freedom in July. Today is a beginning. Right now is a beginning. You get to make those choices for you every moment of your day that you wake.
All the time.
All the time. And you get to decide where you want to go with those choices in your life, right?
Exactly.
And the creative choice, right? And
absolutely. But the most beautiful is that you can make those choices today.
Yes.
If you are thinking, what am I going to do to pursue my happiness? It's a decision I have to make today. Don't worry, you don't take it today, tomorrow is another chance.
Yes.
That's why you have to pursue that. Today, I don't want to go back to my comfort zone in that corporate. Why? Because I'm creating my own comfort zone right now, and I'm happy. And I'm happy, and I can see how my work affect others, and that is more impact than the advertising that I did in 25 years.
So that's amazing. So each day you walk forward on your path, you move farther and farther away from your fears, right?
Absolutely.
Which is very exciting, even more so.
Absolutely.
I was laughing because, you know, it'll be a year, August 4th, that I resigned from my job, and I had a nightmare the other day that basically I went back to my old office and they had files waiting for me, and they were like saying, I knew you'd be back. And I was like, have I come to? What am I doing? And I took the thing and I ripped it up and I was like, no, I've already walked so far. How can I go back now?
Wow,
right?
You're right.
And it's like my subconscious challenging me, but I say the same for you. You've come so far.
Yes.
You can't go back now. Because
exactly.
everyone starts to cheer you on. You have
Absolutely.
Fans now that are like, gosh, Hector, you've got to do this because I'm watching you.
Exactly.
No pressure or anything.
Exactly. And guess what? For example, right now, it's not just about my art. I have my wife and my side, and also my partner right now, and we're working in a new company. And a new company is.
So tell them about it. Yes, for sure.
Exactly. So you go to iloveprado.com. You're gonna see the different products that we have. Like my wife worked fashion designer. And then we integrate my talent with her talent, and now we are creating a fashion line, shoes for that line, even some home decoration products. Guess what? Wow, it's a new line that I never expect.
That's
With
awesome.
all my experience in marketing and advertising, we're working in that area, and it's growing. It's growing, and I never expect that beside my art, I can do a company who can grow with those beautiful art in different pieces. No?
So all of these different directions that it's taking you now.
Absolutely,
that you've never
a different direction. Right now, I can see Sunday. I'm gonna show you my map of my vision, and you're gonna see you have legs and arms for everywhere. You know why?
Yeah.
Because art is not just canvases. Art is everything that I do in my life.
Yes.
Sometimes it's represented in a painting, sometimes it's represented in products, sometimes it's represented even helping people, and that's part of my art. Why? Because it's my essence, and I throw in my essence to everything that is surrounding me right now.
Throw your essence. That's amazing. And Carolina did put the iloveprado.com on the feed, and Tina said she loves her luggage, and I have a piece too, and I love my luggage. It makes me so happy. I feel like when I'm traveling, I feel like I'm so cool. It's ridiculous. I was like, oh, look how pretty because it gives you an extra kick to your step. I think and just the living art. It's like living, traveling art with
Absolutely.
you. It goes with you. So
absolutely, and that idea is coming not just to create a product line. It's because I observe something special when the people, all the viewers see my work. I get it that just the 5% buy my artwork. What happened with the 95% that just admire, love it? And I say, I have to create something for them, because this is not about just to get some money from selling our artwork. I sending a message. What I gonna do with that message? So we create products, beautiful products that is gonna be affordable, but also with a very special, meaningful in each product, because each product is unique.
Well, I've been telling him that we're going to have to conspire somehow to get me a purse that has somehow related to my book, because I personally, it makes me happy, it makes me happy. So who knows what the collaborative effect is of the whole thing. It's just completely, inspired day by day. Like you said, today begins another moment in time to have your ideas, to move on, and to just explore different opportunities and observations and bring it all together, which takes me back to, the whole idea that we're very lucky that we live in a place where we can explore those freedoms, right? Absolutely. So that the American dream can become the Hector Prado dream. And then you take that a step further, and then you live the life you truly want. And you also bring others along, which I know as well you teach a lot of kids art. So I want to mention that as well as like the pay it forward service aspect, that you've taught a lot of children how to explore colors, and can you speak to that just a little bit?
Oh, of course. Sometimes with my wife, we create some summer camp artists, but not just to teach art, it's also to teach how they can put their creativity, in another level. Is because I'm never gonna observe the quality of the art, how they paint it. I think it's what they think, the way they think. I think it's the key, how he can observe. I go out with them and say, observe the life. When you see something different than nobody else see, and they observe the life, and believe it or not, at the end, yes, they're gonna get a diploma that they had the painting course, but it wasn't the core value. What I'm teaching is observe your world around and take it the best from it, something, and see in another angle that nobody else see it, and believe it or not, you're gonna find something that's gonna fulfill your heart in a way that you never expect.
Well, it's also you begin to appreciate things that you weren't able to before, which is like I always say I'll try things once, because I want to see if I like it, but I still appreciate it. But I know if I don't want to do it again, right? Which is amazing, because you open up the door to so many different things, which is a gift that you can give, especially to a younger person. So I think that's an amazing thing that your active service toward the next generation.
I have some kids that, you know, years ago, they tell me now they are teenagers. I say, Hector, you can imagine how that course made me.
I love that.
Why I'm using some of that that thing that I teach at that time, you know, and they put in their life, and they love it. They love it when I do it, you know.
And you know that you have a little bit of part of that. You're like your paths cross, and a little part of you left with them.
I think it's my responsibility.
Yeah, that's amazing.
If God give me a gift, I have to give that gift to somebody else.
No, I agree. That's amazing. It's your legacy as well. So that's fantastic.
Absolutely. Because when I'm gone in this world, I think the only thing that I'm gonna leave behind is, beside my work, is what the people can learn from my life. You know?
And your spirit.
Exactly.
So when we start the interview, I always ask you to set an intention and pick a number. So it relates back to my book. So did you happen to pick a number?
Yes, I picked 240.
240, okay. So basically, what was your intention for the interview tonight?
My intention?
Yes. Did you have an intention set for our conversation today, or were you just going to be observing and you're just going to let things unfold as they would, right?
Yes. No, I think always to be next to you, I always learn your happiness, your enthusiasm of life, the way you see it, the world is something that I can learn and put in my life too. You know, I always see you so happy. I say, how a person could be happy all the time?
Lord Jesus!
You know, all the time.
I'm on my knees praying as well a lot, Hector.
I like that energy. I like that thing, and I'm bringing to me, and I'm gonna put it in somebody else. You know.
Well, so the number you picked was 240, and it's friends are beautiful blessings.
Oh.
So do you want to read it? Or okay, I'll go ahead and read it. So his choice for my book, The Magical Guide to Bliss, is friends are beautiful blessings. And the quote is from James Brown, the American singer and dancer, so very appropriate, good music. He says, I just thank God for all of the blessings. And, you know, before I go on, I said one of the coolest things in life is to stop blocking the blessings, right? So like he's gifted with an incredible talent, right? That's a blessing. So by him saying yes to this new incredible creative path, this Hector Prado American Dream, or the dream that you have, you actually are stepping right into that blessing and you're not blocking it anymore. So that's why you're going to be surprised by the magic and the miracles that come up. So I'm getting like a little bit of chills. But it reads as follows. If you have good friends, you know these beautiful people can make all the difference in your life. They offer solace when you're sad. They often cheer you on when wonderful things happen as well. But most of all, they offer you the love and support that you need to feel connected. Although you may feel lonely at times, with true friends by your side, you know that you are never alone. Good friends are such a blessing, often promoting and contributing to your happiness. If you're blessed with beautiful friendships, you know that you must express your tremendous gratitude. Before it is too late, it is imperative that your friends know how much they mean to you. Although there may be times that distance keeps you apart, the bond formed between kindred spirits will always be close to your heart. From shared moments and fond memories, you have the evidence you need to truly know that love exists in this world. True friends will never let you down and will show you how much they care. They tell it like it is and are likely to give you a boost when you need it most. As the late Hina Asghari stated so eloquently, a true friend will tell you when it's time to put on your sunglasses and get moving, yacht. Friends really are beautiful blessings.
Oh yeah.
So thank God for all the blessings that good friends bring to your life. So I certainly am very grateful tonight to have my good friend Hector sharing Manifesting with Meg with me, because as I am manifesting my path and my creative side and my dreams and stepping into the freedom that I have said yes to, it's so amazing to share it with incredible people by your side, and that is the blessing of friends. So I want to thank you for always saying yes when I ask, and I always thank you for creating with me, because you know, I may never have my art displayed for many like you, but I will celebrate you as you get to do it, and I feel very proud of the fact that you get to celebrate with me as well. And with Carolina and with Val and with Paloma and all your family, it's been a beautiful blessing for my life and for my kids and my
Amen.
family as well. So that being said, I want to leave you with the last word. Fabulous freedom in July. What inspiration do you want to give the Facebook Live audience tonight before we go?
I think you have to hear that little child inside of you. You know, sometimes that little child is telling you something that nobody else is telling. So thinking about it, thinking twice. Maybe your retirement, like me, is going to be amazing, and something that you never expect. Yes, you are in a comfort zone right now, but are you pursuing your career, your happiness? Are you pursuing your really passion? That's something that you have to ask yourself twice. If the answer is no, follow. The universe, God, and yourself, you're going to make it happen.
That's your message tonight. So if you're not experiencing the passion in your life, today's a new day, tomorrow's a new day. Every day you have the freedom of choice to begin it again. So I think that's beautiful. And then you will never regret that. You will never regret that in life, for sure. And you get to meet amazing people on the path along with you. So it's even more to celebrate with those that you love very much. So I want to thank you all again for joining us tonight. Once again, it's been a magical evening of manifesting with Meg and Hector. I do encourage you all to go to his webpage and check out his art, because it truly is happiness, and now we have this meaningful side that's very soulful and very beautifully spiritually enlightening, and I think that following his path may perhaps, like he said, serve for you to actually follow your own more line to that. And once again, I'll go ahead and put everything in the feed for you. I am so excited as well to share my magical guide to bliss and all the wonderful things I get to celebrate with people like Hector and many around all of us. So tonight, I hope you all embrace your fabulous freedom. I hope that you all go out and do your thing and inspire many others to do as well, because I think in this world, like Hector was saying, we need more positive energy that's aligned with incredible talent to raise the vibration in this world right now. And I think that you and myself and Hector and everyone who showed up tonight and even listening to this Facebook Live, it's time, and we all need to be a part of this process as well. You don't want to leave it for someone else to do. It's time for you to embrace it. So I want to say good night, Hector, en español también para la gente que está en Colombia viendo nosotros.
Claro.
Dile algo entonces.
A todos mis compatriotas, muchísimas gracias por estar aquí pendientes. Amo a Colombia, por ahí lo puedo estar visitando pronto, mostrando mi trabajo artístico. Y bueno, síganme en mis redes sociales, en mi trabajo, que de verdad que me llega mucho al corazón. Muchísimas gracias por la invitación.
De nada, claro que.
Muchísimas gracias.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this beautiful invitation. I really appreciate that you select me as one of your team.
Yes.
So I hope you're going to invite me later on.
Oh my God, we're going to absolutely follow you. I will absolutely follow you. Lord knows, we have Hector and I have started a creative path together. There's no denying that.
You're
and for
right,
certain, I know, for a big purpose. We have a big dharma, and we welcome all of you guys to join us as well. Right there. So on that note, good night, everybody. Have a wonderful evening, and go ahead and manifest your